Let's take a look at the ring wrestling. This was an offshoot from the ring boxing, not to be confused with ringside, real ringside, or the rings later on. This is just the ring. First issue was in May 1963. Second issue, July 63. These are heavy magazines. You can feel the weight in them. They were really put together good. Thick, glossy, slick paper, not like the average newspaper type print. These were pretty good magazines for holding up wise over the years. They're really strongly built. You can feel the difference in the weight. October 63 and February 63. This video is probably going to be pretty fast because there's not a whole lot of issues, but this is designed to help collectors complete their ring issues if they're looking for them. They are all over the place. Some months have just a couple, some months have a lot. It's the first 2 decades were kind of crazy, so we're going to go through them. Okay, April 64, June 64, August 64, October 64, December 64, Feb 1965, June, August, October, and that's it. March of 66, so you went several months with nothing until March of 66, June 66, September 66, and that's it for 66. 67, January. Nothing again till May. Nothing again till October 67. And that's it for 67. 68, Feb. Again in May. 68. August 68. And December 68. Nothing until 69, April 1969, big jump. August again, big jump, 69. That's it for that year. Brings us to 1970, January. Next issue wasn't until December of 70. That's it, 2 issues. 71, October. That's it. Only 1 issue. Next issue was February 72. Like I said, they were predominantly a boxing magazine, and they stuck with the boxing. That's where they made most of their money. And wrestling was just, here and there at the beginning, especially. July of 72. October 72. Gets us to February 1973. Not again until July 73. October 74, February. It's not many this year either, I don't think. Yep, not another issue until November. And that's it. 2 issues for 74. April 75. August 75. November 75. Just a fall. March of 76. June 76. That's September 76. December 76. March 77. June 77. October. And January 78. Here's where they changed. You can feel the flimsiness. They went more of a newspaper type, traditional magazine inside, a lot lighter. You can feel the difference when I picked it up in 78. April 78. July 78. October. And 79. We have January. Coming to the end of the line here. May. And the last issue was August 79. And that's a wrap for the ring. They did get sold to Norman Keitzer, and they went over with, they ended up combining with the Wrestling News. They also bought Wrestling Revue, and they had the ring. So they had 3 magazines for, I think, the next 6 years into the 80s. They went into Wrestling News' numbering system. Wrestling News were numbered. They had numbers for the AWA edition, NWA edition, Midwest edition, WWF edition. And then they had their separate number issues, which were only sold in the arenas. They weren't sold on the newsstands. So the Wrestling News, they didn't have the licensing for distributing. So when they bought the Ring and they bought Wrestling Revue, that gave them the license to distribute. So they're able to distribute it, and they combined all 3 magazines together so they can get all 3 on the stand. Talk about confusing. Trying to complete the Ring, Wrestling Revue, and Wrestling News in the 80s with numbers. Holy cow. That a video, it should be an encyclopedia written on that. Confusing stuff. Maybe one day I'll make a video on the Wrestling News from the 80s and the Rings and the Wrestling Revue. Because if anyone likes those issues, and they got a lot better, they were pretty good. I mean, they really took care of those issues, and they covered a lot of stuff. Even though it was kind of cheaper with some of the pictures and being out of focus, and black and white was kind of like smeared, and some of the pictures weren't that great. The matches they covered were good, and the articles were good. So those issues, I kind of liked them. As a kid, I hated them, but I got to like them later on as I got older to see the different things that the other magazines didn't cover. All right, so this is the Ring. August 79 is when it ended. It picks back up in either late 80 or early 81 under the Wrestling News title. All right, see you in the next.